all things being even, here's what I believe in. Nothing matters more than love.
Friendship and affection, real connection. It's a gift from above.
Every song that we play,
every prayer that we pray, makes a bond in a way that's profound.
We're just here to spread that love all around.
Spread it around.
Spread it around.
Queen of Angels welcomes His Holiness the Pope. The Pope. Oh, welcome, Holy Father.
Junior Theater Festival. Please welcome to the stage, Jiana, Odland.
Hello, JTF! Hello, welcome! Welcome to There's a Place for Us. Hold on, let me get rid of this. Hi, my name is Jiana Odland, and I am the company manager here at JTF and the DEI advisor at iTheatrics. I identify as a mixed-race Black woman. I use the she/her pronouns, and I'm just so excited to be here with you all. Later on in this event, we're going to have some of my friends who happen to be the most brilliant and talented people who are going to share their stories and their songs. And when I say their songs, I mean their songs are so good. I actually fell out of my chair during tech, so take a couple seconds right now, look around, be like, is this a safe space for me to just, because the talent is overwhelming and I can't wait for you to meet these people. So, before we get to there, I want to acknowledge this is the first time we've done this sort of celebration of diversity here at JTF Atlanta, and we're on the main stage, which is a huge deal. Yeah, come on. So we're really here because we see you in your adjudications. We see you online at your communities at home, and you are all beautiful and talented and diverse and different and special, and so we want to celebrate you. And the thing about being diverse and different and special is that it's a superpower that has not really been represented on Broadway up until recently. Check this out. That is the original Broadway cast of Oklahoma, a very, very talented group. Yeah, Oklahoma's a great show. And I wasn't there, but I'm assuming they were really, really good. But if you look at them, they all kind of look the same. I don't see myself represented in that cast, and I bet a lot of you would look at that picture and think the same thing too. They don't show what the world really looks like, and it doesn't show the amount of talent that is out there right in front of me right now, who are different than, let's call them conventionally attractive 20-something white performers. So let's see what happened over the next, I can't do math, couple decades. That is the 2019 revival cast of Oklahoma, okay? Post-it note. That's definitely Ali Stroker, who's going to be here later tonight. So, in that cast, we have BIPOC performers. We have performers of different abilities. We have different body types, a vast age range. It's really just, this is what I see when I go out into America every day, when I walk the streets, when I go on an airplane, when I'm walking around at JTF. And this is what I see in your adjudications, and this is what we need to embrace. This is a talented, diverse, beautiful group of people just like you. So let's keep demanding this kind of positive change and keep this rolling, because that production was special, because that production was real, just like all of you. So before we dive into more of these statistics, yes, just like all of you, because you are special, yes. Before we dive into all of the statistics that I'm going to do, because yes, I am going to bring some math into this conversation, but then there's going to be songs, I promise. Math before songs, it's like dessert. So before we get into that, let's get with some language. DEI, what does that really mean? So the first word is diversity. D. Diversity is a gathering of people who are unique and recognizing what makes them different, like their gender, body type, orientation, religion, disability, financial status, and race. Diversity. Equity, E. That word sounds very similar to equality, but it's really important to distinguish the difference. Equality simply means treating every single person the exact same way or equally. Equity is the action of providing what people or groups of people need to succeed on the same levels as others around them. Equality would be giving everybody here at JTF the same size dance shoe. Yay, a free dance shoe, but it doesn't quite fit. Equity is giving the dance shoe that fits your foot as a performer, as a person. So that's my little analogy for that. Last but not least, inclusion. I is the act of providing space for a diverse, throwing it back to D, community of people that is safe and supportive. It is creating and sustaining a community that allows people to be seen, heard, and valued, especially those who have been targeted and oppressed. Inclusion is bringing everybody together into the conversation and letting everybody shine on and off the stage. DEI. Now, we are going to do some math. Don't worry, I already did the math for you. You just have to look at pretty pictures of math. So, I want to show some evidence of why these conversations are so important. This past summer, the Asian American Performers Action Coalition, also known as AAPAC, released its 10th annual visibility report covering employment statistics by race for all shows that opened on Broadway and the 18 largest nonprofit theater companies in the 2018 to 19 New York season, which, by the way, was the last full season before the pandemic shutdown. AAPAC does incredible, non-biased, research-based reporting, and I check their website weekly. I recommend following them and trusting their research and following so that they continue supporting this community. So let's review the stats from 18 and 19. These are the producers. Take a look. Notice anything? And an overwhelming majority. Yeah, I see your hand right there. What were you gonna say? Like, almost 90% more white people were producers than anything else. That means all of the decision-making from who was gonna direct the show, who was gonna be in the show, the marketing, the financing, even what shows were being allowed to be performed, that comes from a very, very narrow, specific lens. Next, please. Directors. That's some easy math. In that Broadway season, 100% of musical directors were white. This leads to white-focused storytelling and leaves actors, crew members, and other employees of color without someone like them at the table. Next one. Casting. So this is actually really awesome. We saw about a 10% increase in casting BIPOC actors in musicals from the previous season to the 18-19 season, which is awesome! Yay, positive change! But, there's a but. Look at how they're being cast. 80% of all lead roles went to white actors. That's not an effective or appropriate act of inclusion. And I believe that Broadway, and all of us extended as Broadway Junior superfans, can do better. I do want to remind you all that this is from the 2018 to 2019 season, and a lot happened over the past 2.5 years, and Broadway really recognized that. They have taken the first steps to do better. And I can't wait to see the next report from these past couple seasons and use those numbers to seek positive change. And I also want to say that what happens on Broadway, yes, it's in New York, and yes, it's far away, but it does trickle down and directly affect you. You see it every year in JTF. You get obsessed with these Broadway shows. I do too. We adapt them. They're in the New York Showcase, and then you get to do them out in the world. So think about how those numbers that directly affect what happens in New York comes back to you. And that's not a scary thing. That's just something to empower yourselves so that I'm being given this amazing food, this amazing, amazing food, but what's actually going into it? So yeah, that's it. So take these numbers, take action, and demand positive change. The history of the world is riddled with discrimination, but I and the rest of the I did not expect to get applause on that one, but it's true. It's true. I gotta get to center for this because this is important. I and the rest of the JTF family are here to say that no matter your skin color, your gender, your body, whatever your identity is, you have worth, and your worth is measurable. And there is a place for you right here. So that's enough of me talking about math and language and all these things. Let's bring out some amazing people. I cannot overhype how talented and kind and smart these people are. They are from all over the country, and they are just so incredible at what they do in this industry. And that's, obviously, it's JTF. We got to bring the best of the best. But they're also here because they are diverse and different and special, and they wanted to come here and be together on this stage to show you that you are all seen. We see you, and it's being reflected right here on stage as a JTF community. So let's bring out my friends, Mckenna Michael from Frozen Live at the Hyperion, Disney, California. Michael Worley from Kinky Boots, Chicago. Katy Gary, Groundhog Day, Broadway. And Macy Schmidt, the founder and CEO of the Broadway Sinfonietta. Hi, friends. Oh, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me talk for 10 minutes. I promise I'll keep it short from now on. Okay, where's my page? Thank you so much for being here. Seriously, I can't I'm speechless about it. I'm getting emotional already, and we're only a couple minutes in. I don't want to speak for y'all, so can you introduce yourself and tell us, about yourself, and we can just go down the line. So let's start with Macy down there.
Hi, everyone. My name is Macy Schmidt. My pronouns are she, her, and my background is Middle Eastern, specifically Egyptian. I am an orchestrator and music director based in New York. I made my Broadway debut on Tina, the Tina Turner musical. And yeah, go Tina. And I'm also the founder of the Broadway Sinfonietta, which is an all-women identifying and majority women of color orchestra, which you might hear more about later. And this is my first JTF ever. So thank you guys for welcoming me, and special shout out to my Purple Pod. It was my first time adjudicating. Yeah, Purple Pod. It was my first time adjudicating, and I had such a blast. So thank you for welcoming me.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Oh, try again. Is this on? Yes. Hi, everybody. My name's Katy Geraghty. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am an actor based out of New York City. I am Irish as the day is long. Thank you. I am originally, can you tell, from Boston, Massachusetts. And this is my third JTF as a staff member. Shout out to the Green Pod. Yes. And I was also a student at JTF a gajillion years ago. So.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael Wordley. I am from Miami, Florida. Period. Oh, I didn't know Miami was here. Oh, I love that. Hey, Miami. My pronouns are he, him. I am a proud Black American. I am so excited to be here. This is my first JTF, and I could be biased, but the yellow pod, there y'all go in the back, was incredible. I wish you all could have saw it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mckenna Michael. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I am from Orange County, California. Do I have any Californians here? Yay! Hi. I am an actor and based in Los Angeles, and I also am a teacher back in California as well, musical theater teacher. Woohoo! Also, I have to give my Magenta Pod a shout out. Oh, let's go. I hear you. Let's go.
I love the pod attention. All right, so we're here to have a conversation, so let's get going. Katy, you, Marty Johnson, the festival director of programming, he claims he found you and got your career going. So what have you been up to since Marty Johnson discovered you?
I would love to say something snarky and say that he's wrong, but he's absolutely right. So wherever you are, Marty, I love you very much. Yeah, so I was from the Boston area originally. I've done a lot of theater in that area. Thank you, Bostonians. I grew up at North Shore Music Theater. That was where I got my training. And then I went to school at UMass Amherst, and I triple majored and did a lot of other things. So everybody, that is cool and okay. And I have a lot of degrees and no debt, so that's great. Yes, teachers, applaud for that one, because you know what I'm talking about. But then after that, I made my Broadway debut in Groundhog Day, basically right out of college. Yeah, which was wonderful, and then I've worked pretty extensively all over the country since then, and I just debuted a new musical in Seattle called Bliss. That was amazing, and it was right before the... yeah, Giselle! See, we've been doing this all weekend. And that is amazing, and there's a lot of other new projects that you will hopefully see very soon.
So she's a superstar. I've been fully obsessed since we first met. But one thing that I just can't help but think is so powerful is that online and in person, you've been using your voice and your platform to praise body diversity and body positivity. But can you tell, the room? Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's important. It's important. So can you tell everybody about that? What's up?
Yeah, I will get to body diversity in a second, but for body positivity, there's really just two things that you need to know. Everyone needs to stop saying, I feel fat today. Thank you. If we all just collectively said, I'm having a bad body day, we would stop alienating each other, because essentially what you're saying to your friends is, I feel bad because I feel like I look like you.
Wow.
It's not right.
Yeah.
So please take that word out of your mouth, because it's really triggering for a lot of people. I don't think it is. I kind of just think it's an adjective, just short and tall, but stop saying that, because it's not helping anybody. Also, body positivity at its core is not having only good thoughts about your body. It is knowing that your body is good regardless of your thoughts. I just got such a wonderful
Mic drop, like,
So that's, yeah, I'm just gonna.
bye, thank you.
So that's body positivity. As far as body diversity, it's really just all of the amazing DEI stuff that Jiana was talking about before is that we just have to remember that size is a part of that because I feel like it's very often overlooked and like, especially shows that preach diversity. Like, you know, Hamilton is wonderful, but how many times have you seen an actor, especially female presenting, over a size 6? Because, forgive me, but I can do all that choreo.
Yes,
So-
you could. All right, we
That's
got to
it.
make it happen right here on JTF stage. Book it for next year. That's amazing. So what motivated you, like inspired you, brought you to being so outspoken about this movement?
Well, if the theater industry is gonna capitalize on making fun of me, then I'm gonna have an opinion. So there's that.
Spill the tea, yes.
I'm really feisty today. Sorry, everybody. Today. But I think like this answer honestly changed yesterday. I had a really wonderful Q&A with the interns. If any of y'all are out there, yes! Love y'all. It was a really, really beautiful moment, and these are really amazing young people around college age. And what struck me the most is that what people were talking about were things that their teachers said, not great things that their teachers said. And that worries me, especially in a room like this, and I really am talking to the teachers right now, that I already said like Marty Johnson and also Derek Bowley were my first 2 teachers, and I don't remember them mentioning my body ever. Because A, of all, I was a child, and B, it didn't matter. Like, I was talented, and that's what they cared about. Right. And I've had some teachers say some things that they might have found constructive, and they were not. And I learned earlier that they were wrong, so I didn't have to unlearn that. But so many of you, I know, are unlearning some things, and I'm so sorry, first of all. Yeah. Also, for the teachers, if you are not spending all of your time building up your children, do something else.
She said what she said. She said what she said. So, Katy, how do you think being the amazing, beautiful, talented, just diva that you are, the flip side, how do you think that has affected your career?
It affects every single part of it. I get to do such amazing things, but you know, Hairspray is only one show. Like there should be more. So I think it's having like a limited amount of material that I'm allowed to do. And I think that now I'm starting to get into the right rooms, and I know that there's a privilege to that, absolutely, but I'm starting to get into the right rooms where people are realizing that they should probably write something new for me then, which is great, and I really hope that that's the future, but it affects every part of the career.
What would you want to say to the people who have, like, gate-kept you from those roles?
I think that it's, when you're talking about overcoming your own barriers, and I know that everybody on stage probably feels this way, there's always a level of condescension where they're like, well, the door's open to you. Am I right? That like that kind of message has been sent? But there's a difference between like a wide open space and a door that's like cracked open. So at this point, it feels like my only option is to kick it off its hinges. And not and not only because I clearly love a grand entrance, but also because, thank you, but also because that means that nobody after me ever has to worry about that again.
I just got full body chills. Oh my gosh, Katy, I was gonna introduce this next song, but I think you have to. So if you wanna head over there, I'm gonna invite my best friend and my emergency contact, Daniel Mertz, up to the stage to play keys.
I think we're just gonna sing. I think we're just gonna let the song do what it's gonna do.
Y'all aren't ready.
Thank you.
Give it up for stage management and stage managers.
Yes!
Unsung heroes. Thank you.
All right, here we go.
I used to need you, but then I finally learned. I used to want you, now the table's turned. I used to love you, now it's your time to squirm. 'Cause I'm saying goodbye, and I won't wait for your return. So get out and stay out, I finally had enough. Don't kiss me on your way out, it wouldn't move me much. You used me, abused me, you cheated and you lied. So get out and stay out, I'm taking back my life. I wonder what you'll do when I am not around. Now that your new love has up and let you down. You've always come crying to me throughout the years, to mend another broken heart, to dry your selfish tears. So get out and stay out, I'm moving on at last. Oh, I've been so foolish, but that was in the past. I never thought I'd be the one to say goodbye. So get out and stay out, I'm taking back my life. Unlimited, my future is unlimited. And I've just had a vision, almost like a prophecy. I know I have no choice, I have to do it. Face the future, walk into it. Now that I'm unfettered and unbound, get out and stay out, I finally had enough. Don't kiss me on your way out, it wouldn't move me much. You used me, abused me, you cheated and you lied. So get out and stay out, I'm taking back my life. My
Are you kidding me? We have a shoe. The first shoe has been thrown for Katy Geraghty singing Get Out
Not
and Stay
getting
Out.
that for you. Thank you so much.
Katy Geraghty, everybody. Dan Mertz left. Katy Geraghty, 9 to 5. Get out and stay out. I am out of breath, and all I did was scream.
Me
because,
too.
I mean, you actually worked. You
Yeah, sure.
served. Oh my gosh, I don't know how. Ooh. Wow. All right. Hey, Macy, you want to talk about things after that?
I don't know. Excuse me. Oh, am I on? Hello? You're good. Oh, yeah. Ma'am. I'm unwell. I thought it was gonna take a minute before I would cry at this, but you broke it really early.
So, Macy,
Hi.
you are incredible at what you do, but I need to know your origin story, as it were. So, how did you get on this path?
Sure. Well, I am from Houston, Texas. Yes! I've been so excited to meet so many Texas groups here this weekend. And I, like many of us, I did theater in high school. Hopefully, unlike many of us, I had kind of a harmful experience when I was doing theater in high school. It's one of the things that's been really beautiful about being here this weekend for the first time is seeing theater education in such a nurturing and fostering and beautiful way, and it's been really restorative for me. But that harmful experience caused me to really step away from theater when I went to college. I kind of didn't want anything to do with it because of that, which is unfortunate and a deep failure of my educators. But I turned towards music. And so in college, I was studying music theory, And I kind of just got pulled back into theater pretty quickly. I music directed a college production of In the Heights, and it was such a blast. And I was kind of like, okay, like I have some skills here. I love this thing. It makes me really happy. I finally found a way to experience it that was productive and fruitful. And I just decided that summer I'm going to move to New York and find where I fit. And I moved to New York, and I started uncovering all the different jobs you can have in music departments in the Broadway sphere in New York. And there were so many more than I would have even known. I really wish someone would have told me all of the different things you can do. I was meeting music directors, but orchestrators and copyists and music supervisors and arrangers and dance arrangers and all these different things where I'm like, there's like 30 jobs that I didn't even know existed in this. And I dabbled a little bit in all of them, trying to find where I fit. I really always loved orchestrating. And for those of us who don't know, did someone just cheer for orchestrating? Because that
Only at the Junior Theater Festival.
Day made, okay. So for those of us who don't know, orchestrating is basically when you take a piece of music that is often written on one instrument and you expand it this way to write parts for all the other instruments. So if you go to a Broadway show and you hear an orchestra playing all these songs, someone decided what every single instrument in that orchestra pit was going to play. And sometimes, not always, but often, songs in musical theater are written on one instrument, often piano, and then an orchestrator works closely with a composer to figure out what is the orchestra going to play for that. Sometimes it's adding things or just expanding things, but it's a really close relationship with that composer. And it's a really hard field to get into for a couple of reasons. There's not really an assistant to that position. There's some barriers to entry because it's very mentorship based. And as I think we know here, mentorship isn't always the friend of inclusion because people tend to mentor people who remind them of themselves. And so that was really like a struggle for me. And I worked at it and worked at the craft, worked at meeting the people, and I've been really fortunate to get to orchestrate work for some amazing Broadway composers. Jiana Tesori, whose show I'm working on now, Tom Kitt, Daniel Mertzleft.
Ooh, who's he?
Stop it.
And I feel very fortunate. So.
That's amazing. And now you have founded the Sinfonietta. Can you tell? It's so cool. You have to tell them.
I would love to. So the Sinfonietta, as I said before, is an all-women identifying and majority women of color orchestra. And I found the Sinfonietta for a few reasons. One of them is that I was finding myself in rooms in the Broadway space where, as I'm sure many of us have had this experience, I just wasn't really seeing people who looked like me. There were organizations that were popping up that were really furthering the development of women in music, and I was noticing that the most visible frontrunners of that movement were very often white women. And then there were organizations popping up furthering people of color in music, and I was noticing that often the most prominent people I was seeing in that sphere were men of color. And I was like, why do I not know any women of color who do what I do? Why is it that when I suggest a woman of color for a Broadway pit for a pop show, I'm told that they haven't done the Broadway thing before, as if Broadway's still one musical genre? And it just kind of rubbed away at me. And then the pandemic happened, and it was a combination of space to think about these things, but also the summer of George Floyd's murder and all of the conversations that Broadway was having about doing better. And I really wanted to do this. I wanted to assemble an orchestra of as many women of color as I could find, and honestly perform big, splashy, traditionally white Broadway music. And I fundraised some money. Very special thank you to Jiana and Daryl Roth for helping get this on its feet the very first time. And we did a debut video starring now one of my dear friends, Solea Pfeiffer, who sang her face off in it. And it got picked up by CBS Sunday Morning and a lot of press places and started kind of exploding beyond my wildest dreams. And since then, we've been doing kind of a lot of stuff in the brand space. We've been collaborating with brands like MAC Cosmetics and Bloomingdale's, and we got to play Ratatouille, the TikTok musical. Yeah!
Never heard of it.
Which is also where I met Dan and Kate, and have some wonderful things in store this year, and it's really the joy of my life to get to work on this orchestra. But the big takeaway for me is not playing by the rules that people have set and told you should play by, and just remembering that you can create your own mechanism for realizing your dreams, and it doesn't have to have existed before, and you can just create a whole other structure over here that you can realize your dreams within, and those people who wanted you to play by their rules will respect you because of it.
Yes, come on. All right, so hopefully, maybe, I don't know, it might work out that we get to hear some of Macy's orchestrations later.
That'd be nice, I don't know.
So, we're moving over here. Michael, I have known you since I was 17.
Yes.
It's been a while. What's happening?
I'm also 17. No, I am in New York City. I just finished a reading called Joy, and it is about Joy, who invented the self-ringing mop. Yeah.
I know that movie commercial.
Yeah, they made a musical about it, and it starred Laura Bell Bundy, so I just finished that. Before that, I was, oh yeah, come on, Joy. Before that, I was Lola in Kinky Boots.
Yes. Oh, you better work. So, Michael, I have known you for so long. Actually, we got close when you first started going out on professional auditions. And so I just wanted to ask, what has that been like for you as a dark-skinned black man?
All right.
I'm diving in. I know him better, so I'm getting brutal right now, Michael.
It has been a lot. Okay, let me start off by saying this. I've had some incredible teachers in my life that have told me just the brutal truth about being inside this business, being in this industry. And one of the truths is, Michael, you have to work hard. And they're telling me this at 7 years old. Why? I don't know. But Michael, you have to work twice as hard, always. Just by your skin color, you have to work twice as hard. And I think for me, I now ask the question, and I was asking the question, I wonder if my other BIPOC performers are working twice as hard, if their teachers are telling them that they have to work twice as hard. When I enter into these spaces, is the room gonna fully accept my entire blackness? Do I have to code switch when I walk into these spaces? I have been told, hey, Michael, calm down, you're doing too much. Hey, Michael, don't run there, that's too urban. Hey, what happened to your hair? Why your hair changed? What, you got braids now? And I'm just like, I'm just being my full self. And the theater industry, we embrace that. We want individuals.
Yes,
so
authenticity. It is what we preach here at JTF and all of our pods and all of our adjudications, yes.
So why is it that I can't be my full blackness in its entirety and let it be embraced? And it's such a, first of all, I love being black. I love being black. I love it. I love it. But this industry was not made for me. That's just the reality of it.
I don't think it was made for any of the people on this stage. But I'm so glad that we're fighting for it together and fighting it for all of our JTF community. And I'm so thankful that you're here, Michael. Ooh, I'm getting emotional already. Michael, I know this is gonna send me over the edge. What would you have told that 7-year-old black boy instead of you have to work twice as hard?
I know you are addressing this to me, but I would love to address it to the black boys or black non-binary boys inside or whatever you want to call it. I would like to say that you currently are, and you will be always enough. Just by you being yourself and you being your full self, you are already enough. Don't let yourself, I'm actually preaching to myself right now, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just by you being you, do you know who you are? Do you know where you come from? You are more than enough. I think that's my advice.
Preach it, get it tattooed on my heart. So Michael, so the name of this event is There's a Place for Us, and I think being more than enough, there is a place for everybody in this theater, and that's a great transition to a song that is going to absolutely wreck me. The lyrics by the great Stephen Sondheim. Michael, would you please sing Somewhere from West Side Story?
Love to. There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open
wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us somewhere, a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn and time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a new way of there's a place for us somewhere, a place for us. Hold my hand and we're halfway there. Hold my hand and I'll take you there. Somehow, somewhere, somehow, someday,
That hug was not sanctioned by the COVID
Sorry.
safety officer. I'm really sorry,
We're
but
sorry,
I had to
COVID
do
safety
it.
officer.
And there's more. We aren't even done yet. Whew, thank you, Michael. I'm gonna drop all my cue cards. I'm shook. Once again, Michael Wordley and Dan Mertzliff on keys. Okay, speaking of Michael, Mckenna Michael. Hey! What a transition. I'm so
Nice
good.
segue.
Thank you. So McKenna and I have been friends for 10 years, and ever since I started coming to JTF, you have been being like, Jiana, bring me, please. And you are here, and you are on the main stage. So why have you want to come? I mean, I love JTF, but why have you want to be here so badly?
Well, I am a theater teacher back in Orange County, and I think I have directed and choreographed over 15 Broadway junior shows over there. And there's something about children's theater and youth theater that is unlike any other theater. And I knew, based on from what you have said about this festival, I was like, I need to get there because I need to see this. And I keep saying this every day. Your energy, I want to bottle it up, put it in my pocket, take it home with me, and like save it when I need it, because this is like something I've never seen, and it's so wonderful, and I'm having the best time.
Thank you, JTF, and thank you, Mckenna. So McKenna, you identify as non-binary. Can you tell everyone what that means for you?
Yeah, so I am a queer non-binary human being, and and for those of you who don't know what that means, I don't like to fall in the binary, female or male. I like to kind of float in my own little universe right in the middle and maybe, sway from side to side. I think for me, being non-binary is a way to express myself and being fluid in who I am in the way that I dress, the way that the roles that I want to audition for, the people I want to surround myself with. And I think that for me, For me, I think trans and non-binary people are so special, and they deserve to be heard and seen.
Yes.
And if there are any of you here tonight, I see you and I love you so much. And I know that this part of life, figuring out who you are, is terrifying and it's very scary. But I promise you, there are people there for you, and you will find your safe space at your own time. And yeah.
Yes. So, something that is a little bit heavier, but I do need to ask, I want to give you the space to tell the truth, tell your truth. How do you feel? Do you feel safe, seen, and appreciated in this industry as you are a performer and a teacher, and you are non-binary, and you are one of the most talented people I've ever met. So it's true, and you're about to find, no, spoiler alert, but how do you feel about it?
It is very hard, but I will say, oh, I'm gonna get emotional.
We are here, so just let's keep going.
I know, I've been crying this whole time. No, it's very hard. And going into auditions where it's a male call, a female call, a binary role of a, ingenue or the silly character or this or that, everything is so specific. And I feel like for me, I'm kind of wherever you want to put me. And so, but I will say, I feel very safe and appreciated within my cast members who I share the stage with. I feel very seen with the people I surround myself, my fellow actors. And, when you go into an audition, when you are like, okay, well, I can play Catherine in Newsies, and I can also play Crutchy, and I can also be a Bowery Beauty, and I can also be a newsboy, and I don't have to do it all. I can just be one.
I want to see you do all of them at the same time. But that's because I'm selfish and you're really good. Yes.
You want to, it's so hard to create that space and kind of make people unlearn a little bit, that it doesn't have to be so binary, black and white. Like, it's all, you can live in the middle ground and you can thrive in it and you can identify with that and lead with that and be like, look at me, I'm unique, and guess what? I'm gonna do whatever I'm gonna do to get myself into this show, and you're gonna love me for it, and I'm gonna do it.
Yes. Thanks, Mckenna. All right, I have one last question, and it's for all four of you. And I said this at the first ever JTF DEI panel that was at the 2021 online extravaganza. Yeah, if you were there virtually, what? And so this question is a little hard, but we always talk about finding silver linings in situations, and I just want to, but it doesn't mean that we don't have to acknowledge the dark rain cloud. So I'd love to ask each of you, what has been your hardship being who you are in this beautiful theatrical world? Theater is it's all of our homes, it's our safe space, but we can acknowledge the hardships and dream about the hopes. So what has been your hardship and your hope? So Macy, do you want to start?
Sure thing. Well, a hardship for me, I think, has been when you're on a path that is unpaved, you don't really have role models to look to who look like you. And actually, to date, there's never been a woman of color orchestrator to work on Broadway in a supervising orchestrator role in the history of Broadway, which has been very long. Just wanted to say that here. And so, not having mentors and role models and being able to see yourself represented, being able to see somebody who is like paving a career that looks like you is hard and scary because sometimes you have to really trust yourself and like double down on yourself and your intuition when you're in that. But my hope is that in some way that contributes to changing things. My hope is that someday I will get to be that to someone else, and then my hope is that someday there will be so many of us who get to be that to someone else. So there's absolutely a silver lining there.
Thanks, Macy. Yes.
I think the hardship is that I'm really sick of having to be a surprise in order to be accepted. Like, you don't have to say, like, oh my God, you're such an amazing dancer for your size. I'm like, no, you can just say I'm the best on the stage because I am. Like, that's it. Right. Yeah. So I think that I would just love a world where that second half of the compliment doesn't exist.
Let's make that happen. Starting here at JTF. Michael.
I think a hardship for me is I just want to stop going into these rooms and being cast as the token black guy.
Yeah.
I would like to be cast because I'm the best to do the role. I would like to be cast because I was the most talented, not because I had to fill a quota, just because you were it. That's why we cast you. And I think something that I'm hopeful for, was that second part of the question? I don't know, I'm a fighter, so I'm enjoying the work right now because I know the future generation, they won't have to go through this no more. Hopefully this will never exist ever again, and we're all just doing the work.
Yes. And Mckenna?
I think the biggest hardship is just having to go through these rooms with people who are unwilling to learn and I want them to unsee what they've seen for so long. I think we are in a time in our generation where it's time to make things change and let people be seen for who they are, and if they're the most talented person, then they are. And I hope for the future to see more trans and non-binary roles in musical theater.
Yes, 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 1,000 times yes. We do need one last song. And this song was actually written by Daniel Mertzleft and Kate Leonard. And Macy Schmidt did the orchestrations for it. Dan, do you want to tell us a little bit about the song?
Yeah, I would love to. So Macy and I started working together. Kate and I have been, I love Kate. She annoys me because every time I'm in the room with her, I'm not the smartest person in the room because it's always her. And it's really fun being in a room with Jodi Picoult and her because it's like a fight of who's the smartest. But no, Kate and I have been working together for a long time, and we started working with Macy on Ratatouille and have been doing a lot of new stuff since then. And the Sinfonietta was asked to do this very bizarre event. I'll skip over all of that. But basically, they needed a song that was like, they wanted it poppy, but musical theater, but poppy, that also was like, had a good message that was pretty like, everyone could relate to, and just about like being the change you want to see. And Macy was like, well, that doesn't exist. You guys want to write it? And we were like, yeah, of course we do. So we wrote this, and it was recorded in a studio. You'll hear these incredible tracks that was recorded in a studio by 13 musicians?
21.
12? 21? Oh, 21! We had the big one out for that. And then I played the piano on that, and now you'll hear the live piano with the actual orchestrations that were recorded with the Broadway Sinfonietta. And I would just like to point out of like what a bizarre relationship an orchestrator and a composer is, where it's like still in here, there's one part where it says Macy horns, because I'll like put in like, this is what I'm thinking here, and then she just like knows what I want, and you'll hear there's like this ba-ba, and it's on horns, and it's like, because she can read my mind, and she's brilliant, and I could go on about all these people. Anyways, let's do the song.
All right, by Daniel Mertzleft, Kate Leonard, orchestrated by Macy Schmidt, performed by the Broadway Sinfonietta, and featuring the vocal stylings of Mckenna Michael, Michael Wordley, and Katy Geraghty. This is It Starts With Me.
caught in the current, in debt and in doubt. No levers of power to lift us back out. Faults in the framework, fracturing hope. So we settle in silence, numbing to cope. But I won't abide by the choices supplied. When the light is faint and the fight's not fair, I'll give what I got, 'cause surrender ain't gonna get us there. So ready or not, I'll crush the bills too hard to swallow, counteracts too hard to follow, demand to see what else could be. I don't know where this road ends, but it starts with me. It starts with me. In far-off discussions, unseen and unheard, our futures rewritten, our dreaming deferred, the fate of the many devised by the few. Well, I won't play a hand that I never drew. No, I won't abide by the choices supplied. When the light is faint and the fight's not fair, I'll give what I got, 'cause surrender ain't gonna get us there. So ready or not, I'll crush the bills too hard to swallow, counteracts too hard to follow, demand to see what else could be. I don't know where this road ends, but it starts with me, with me, with me. On course and I'm razor eyed, my force could reverse the rising tide, sure and strong. I am dead set and diamond clear, a threat to persevere, defeating every wrong. Who's in me all along? When the light is faint and the fight's not fair, I'll give what I got, 'cause surrender ain't gonna get us there. Ready or not, crush the bills too hard to swallow, counteracts too hard to follow, restlessly demand to see a vision of what else could be. I don't know where this road ends, but it starts with me, with me, with me. It starts with me.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Everybody, Mckenna Michael, Katy Geraghty, Michael Wordley, Macy Schmidt, Dan Merthup, Kate Leonard. JTF DEI is an act of love, and we love you. You have worth, your worth is measurable, and there is a place for you. And if you ever need us, we are here for you, always. Thank you.